the first thing we're going to be doing is materials. I'm going to show you guys how to create a new material, a new sheet good, and a new edge band. So this is actually incredibly easy. So on the left, you have your whole catalog with all of your materials and such. Here's your edging for all of your colors, your hardware, your sheet goods, your countertop materials, and all of that. So what I want you to do is go to your sheet goods folder.
Right. This one's okay. Now we right at the top under file. Is it under part or material?
Material.
Right. So always on material. Okay. You said just give me a second. Material, and then you're going into Sheetgood, right?
Yeah, so we're just going to create a quick file now for your training purposes.
Okay. So where are we creating the file?
So select sheet goods and then right click on it.
Where's Sheetgood on the top?
Okay, let's rather just do this. On your
Okay. So there's a drop down. Sorry, maybe right. Yeah.
sheet goods,
Yeah.
right click on it and say create group.
Ah, okay.
Then you see there's a new folder underneath it. That one we can right click and then bottom right corner, rename.
Okay.
And we can just call that training.
Okay. All right.
And then a few files up, you'll see there's a file called edging. Right click on that again, create group, and rename that folder as well to training. The reason why we did do this, we always split the different types of materials, sheet goods, edge banding, countertop hinges, runners, and such, because every material has different tabs here on the top. Now, let's say you have edge banding, sheet goods, and countertops in the same folder. All of their tabs are going to get confused and they're going to get messed up, and you're not going to know what controls what. All right, so you've got your two training folders. Now, in sheet goods training folder, select the training, and then on the top left corner, I'm going to say new. Left corner new. You know, see it's going to give you this new material little tab.
But then this one's taking place. So you got the drop down menu, you can select between.
Yeah. So
I'm going to speak. Give me 1 second. I want to double check something. I should be in Sheetgood first, eh?
Yes.
I think when you select it and press new,
Okay, it comes up there.
Okay.
But now under new material, okay, then I've got the drop down menu. Okay, right now under the type, is that where we are?
We're on this folder.
Yeah,
On this
material, correct, yeah.
screen, yes.
Yeah.
So under type, you'll see there's a bunch of different options. We've got banding, boardstock, casters, composite, connected, draw guide, finger pull, hinge, hinge plate, laminate, leg level, miscellaneous, molding, set, and so forth. Now, you'll see there's two stocks. There's a boardstock, and then almost at the bottom, there's a Panelstock as well.
Boardstock and Panelstock. Yes, I see it. Yes.
Never use the boardstock.
Never use the boardstock.
Boardstock is for solid wood. For sheet goods and cabinet vision, use Panelstock.
Yeah. What is okay, all right, because it works okay. Yeah, okay.
So we never use boardstock for sheet goods. We can just go and select Panelstock.
All right.
Then under the name, I'm just going to make it training 16 millimeter sheet. And you can just make the description the same.
Yeah, sure. And description will be the same. Does it have a copy paste function? No.
Yeah, just Control A, Control C, and then press at the bottom Control V.
Control A.
training 16 sheet,
Now what does it control?
Control A is to control the whole the line,
Yeah.
then Control C,
and then V.
and then at the bottom line by description you just press and then Control V.
just here. Okay, so I'm gonna change it to about 16mm sheet.
Now we need to specify 16mm because we're going to create a 19 ball as well as.
Is that from the Eagle range?
No, this is just going to be training. This is just
I think the Eagle board, what's it, 18?
Eagle board is 18, I think, yes.
Okay, done.
I did Control C.
So when you don't
Control
that, you say Control A, you say Control C to copy, you tab it,
And Control V.
B to paste.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Then we can
Next
say
to next.
next.
Okay.
Now here you can say there by unit of issue. You have all of your different options there. So normally we work per sheet or per square meter.
Correct.
But for this, we can just leave it at sheet for now. And then you can add the real world length and width of the sheet for that material. I'm not sure what your guys are defaulted to.
So do you put the actual sheet size or do you put it with the trim?
No, actual
Actual
sheet
sheet
sizes.
Okay, so you
The
don't-
trim and everything gets controlled by the machine once that's been set up.
Those are the parameters and okay.
Yes,
That's
this
the
has to be
machine,
correct.
So can I put a 275 over here?
Yeah, whatever your normal standard sheet sizes are that you buy your sheets.
Okay, so millimeter you have to buy
And then thickness, real life thickness, so 16 mil is fine.
if it is.
Yeah, if it is. But for this one, we can just make it 16 mil because it's just for training purposes.
Sure.
Then we can say next. Now this properties of this display function, this is the color of the board. So in cabinet vision, in the jobs, you have three different views. You have a wire mode, a full mode, and a texture mode. So wire mode just shows you the outlines of all the parts and such. Full mode shows you the color of the board, and then texture mode shows you, of course, the texture. Full mode comes from this. You assign a color to the board that's close to the texture color of the board.
Okay.
But this we're not doing right now. This we technically do last because we still need to go and assign the texture and such. And then once we get the texture, we can assign the finished color. So for now, you can just say finish. Right. And there lays your sheet good now. Now there's still quite a few things that we need to do with this, but the first thing you guys need to see, you see here on top, we only have material, CNC, and size. There's supposed to be 4 more tabs. It is a bug in Cabinet Vision for the last 6 versions. All you need to do is go and select any other folder on your left,
Okay.
and then go back to the training folder.
But it must be on the Sheetgood or any folder?
Any folder.
So if I choose Sona as an example.
Yeah.
And then
Go back.
Sheetgoods for training.
Then you'll see all of your tabs will be.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
only if you create a new folder with a new material.
So the others now came up and populating material,
Material,
CNC,
CNC.
size, finishes, finish types, and textures.
Textures, correct.
So that's one bug.
That's the only bug of that
That's
we
not
currently
one.
know. No, but this has been going on for the last 3 years.
Yeah, they must be just working on the parameters to try to
No,
figure what's the-
It's a SQL bug that it doesn't automatically bring the stuff up to the front. Right. But it only pops up if you create a new folder with a new material. If you create a material in an existing folder, you'll never have that issue because all the tabs are already there. Right. Now to go through the tabs. So under material, you'll see it has an ID. The ID number you will never be able to change. That's what Cabinet Vision uses to recognize the material.
Only 2512.
Yes.
As in our case.
Yes. So mine is 13931. So every time you create a new material, no matter in what file it is, what material it is, or whatever, it'll get the next ID. So if I now go and create a runner material, it'll get assigned 13932.
Oh, it decides it numerically. You can okay.
Yes. But you will never be able to
Change it.
change that.
So
So-
the 33, sorry to interrupt you. 33512. Is that because of how much of things are
You've created.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But that also takes into effect all of your deleted materials and such as well. Yes.
Okay, interesting. And do we have access to team of certain things, no?
You do.
You can
That we do.
active, inactive.
Yes. I'll show you guys all of that later on. So your name you can go and change again for the material.
And you can edit.
Yeah, you can edit that. Your description you can edit as well.
Oh, cool.
Your type you cannot. Once you've selected the type, which is Panelstock in this case, it is locked
You
on
can
it.
change the Boardstock, for example.
Yeah, it will not be able to change. Your unit of issue you can change as well. So if you don't want to sell this at a sheet anymore, you want to set it per square meter, you could just go and modify it there. Yes.
Okay.
Then your default cost, sell price, and default markup. This is a bit of a tricky one, and people always get confused. Your default cost is what you pay to buy the board, and then your sell price and markup is what you sell it as. But you do not have to add both. If you have a solid sell price on the board, you add the sell price. But if you work with a markup, you just add the markup. Because if you add the sell price and the markup, it's going to add the markup on top of the sell price and then work that price out in your bid center.
Which becomes super expensive.
Correct. It's going to add like 250% markup.
So then you either fill in default and sell price, or just sell price, or markup and
Default cost, yes.
cost. Yeah.
Only either sell price or default markup. Never both.
Makes sense.
Sales tax is just if you want this board to run tax or not, and then your default tax rate. Wastage. If you add a wastage percentage on, this will add a, let's say you add a 10% wastage on. It'll always add 10% on the default cost of the board when you sell it to cover wastage, your trims and chipping and all those types of things. Load model, don't stress about that. And then you guys have the S2M material option.
Sorry, the estimate part.
S2M material.
Okay.
Yeah. Always make sure that is ticked. Because if you bring in a board now and that is not ticked, and you go and run a job now and you go and optimize it, it will not pull that board even through to screen to machine set.
So okay, so you
That
have to.
yes. So that is there. So if for the purpose of if you want to create a material used just for design, you don't want it to optimize, you don't want it to cut or cost or anything, then you deselect that. Then you can add it in your job as much as you want, and it'll never go to screen to machine set. All right. Then we can go to the second tab, CNC. CNC, we have a few extra tabs here now. So the first one is grain dependent. So if you have a grain dependent board or not, you can select it there or not. On this one, let's leave it on because I want to show you guys what that does. Optimize as well. If you deselect optimize here, your S2M material is on, but your optimize is off. It'll still pull through to screen to machine center, but it will not run through to your machine. Once you go into a screen to machine center, it's going to have a little red icon next to it, which means this board is not set to be optimized. So that always needs to be set on as well. Drop width and drop length, don't stress about that. The machine will handle that. Feed rate percentage and spindle speed. This is actually a very nice little function. So on your tools and your machine, you control the speed of the feed rate and your spindle speed on your tools and such. We set that on the tool specifically. But let's say you have an incredibly soft board that you don't want to run at full speed because you're scared it's just going to rip everything away. Then you can set a value there for this board specifically. So then it'll only run at 50% of the spindle's speed or 50% of the feed rate.
Okay, that's quite nice.
So that's when you're dealing with delicate material.
Yeah, with a specific little material that always gives you problems. If you want the material to cut faster, you can always also go 120%. So it's then going to automatically spin up the spindle faster.
So instead of pushing change the material, it's already preset on the machine.
Yes.
So
So
you can't change it.
No, they can. And what I'm saying is speed of the production, but you're cutting glass. You align the parameter here.
But if you've assigned a parameter here, can you still manually
You
change
can
it on the
change.
machine?
So on the machine, we don't really set the spindle speeds and such. That gets set up with the tool specifically.
Okay.
So once we set up the tools for the machine, every tool has a specific speed that it can run at and such. We add that already onto the tool itself. The only thing this does is it doesn't control the overall speed of the machine. It just controls the spindle speed of the specific tool that's running it. So let's say I run two materials. I run my training 60mm sheet that I set at 50%. And then my white melamine that I sent is running at 100%. If my training 60mm sheet gets loaded onto the machine, it's going to reduce the spindle speed. But once my white melamine goes on, it's going to run full speed.
Changes. Okay.
Now it's just to control the spindle speed of a specific material.
Interesting.
Minimize face chip and minimize back chip. This is just to make sure that your tools always go in cleanly and come out cleanly.
But it also depends on the tool you choose.
Correct. If you have an up shear or down shear or such, but that also gets set up with the tools itself.
Yeah.
Climb cut is if you want this board to be climbed cut or not. And then there's maximum depth per pass. Once again, if it's a delicate material or such, you can set it so that if it's doing the outline cut, it doesn't cut through the board at once. Now, this is also set up on the machine itself as well. and on the tools as well. This is just for the specific delicate material. So if your standard is it cuts through once and it routers everything out, but on this one you want it to cut twice, then you can set the maximum depth per pass 8 volts.
So that's 2 passes basically.
Then it'll cut 2 passes instead of 1 or 3 or
Can
however
you
it
just
is.
explain what a climb cut is? So I'm not familiar with that.
A climb cut is something that we don't.
It's stepped.
Yeah, it's a step
Okay,
cut.
okay.
Yes.
No, we'll use it.
Yeah.
We will use it because we've got the other lesson tape.
Yes.
It's a good question. If you want to do that and you mistake it up, you can cut with a stick. But that's
Standard to become smooth eventually.
no, we're going to get it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can say it through it. I think that's the way because someone will say to us, what is the other function I said when what's the other thing you got where you can do shaping and stuff?
X machine.
No, that's X2D CAD. X2D CAD and X shaping. Yes. I hope you guys got that model. It's an incredibly powerful model.
You know what we do is we just getting the basic building blocks. And that is why later I spend the time in the training because the more we know, the more we can push our capacity for our staff and make it grow.
Yes.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, no, that's the nice thing about camera vision. You can just start off small baby steps, and then over time you can add the extra modules, and you can just go bigger and bigger and bigger until everything basically runs on its own. Right, so size, we can go and modify the size again of this board. So if you need to change the width, the length, or the thickness, you can go and change it there again. Finishes and finish types. This is what I told you about the full color, but we're going to be doing this last. The reason for that is we still need to add a texture. Once we got the texture and we know what color the texture is, then we can go and add that finished color to the finishes tab. Now, in order to assign a texture here, we need to go and get a texture first.
Right.
So how this works, if you go to your front, you'll see that little 3 dots. You press there. Then it opens up your texture manager. Now, all of your textures for your boards and your edging and everything will be saved here. But we need to create a new one. Now, it's actually incredibly easy. So I have a few there already. Don't stress too much about that. I want to show you guys how to do it from the get-go. To create a new texture, what we need to do is we need to go and get that texture first from Google or a photo or however. So if it's a PG Bison color, you can go and get it off PG Bison's site. If it's an Egger color, you can go and off of Egger's site or however. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google and I'm just going to go and search there for wood texture.
Must we do the same?
Yes, please.
Okay, so wood texture.
Was it for flooring now? Also, for the board.
Texture for the sheet good, yes.
Can I do something else? Can we go into your panel website? I want to use a specific color. Can we do that?
You can do that if you want to.
I want to use that. Don't see, because I'm trying to remember we were at some of the
Not a problem.
I'm gonna go into it as well.
I'll just take a wood panel stock, it's fine. I'm anyway going to leave mine again.
Okay, so let's see. This is gonna
take out some things. I was going to see how.
Right, so you got your color. So
Now,
we can,
if you don't mind, just
I'm going to show you now how to get it. So if you get your color now,
yeah.
you can either right click and download it, or what I like to do is I just can't go print screen now because my video is running. I'm just going to right click on it and say save image as. Always try and make sure that it saves as a JPEG image. It's just easier to bring in that way. I'm just going to throw it under downloads and I'm just going to save it. Right,
Okay.
you got your texture.
Sorry, can I just interrupt you? If we have a high-res image, the upload process will be the same. It's just that instead of uploading from downloads, you upload it from a different folder.
Yeah, so in all honesty, the higher resolution your texture is, the better.
Sure.
Just always be careful. If it's too high resolution and you run your job in texture mode, it is going to have a performance impact. So, because let's say you have in your kitchen design, you have 50 cabinets all running with that same texture and you're running in texture mode, it's going to drain your computer's performance. It does make it a bit slow.
Should I limit? Because like some of our high-res images are 150 megs. So I mean,
Okay, that's not a problem. Just always try and keep your images around about 1080p.
1080p.
Yeah, never go to 4K or those types of things. Never go to way too high resolution.
Okay.
It's going to give you beautiful renders and such, but it is going to have a performance impact on the computer.
If you just go to the website, if you don't mind, doesn't it show you some of the stuff and just let us know what you Go back to our color view. And then select under the metal finishes. Selection. That's the metal range, and the color we selected for this purpose was the champagne metallic.
Well, that's perfect.
That's perfect. Okay, just click on it and see what it looks like.
Okay, so I right clicked on the zoom.
And, yeah.
So this one.
Right, yeah, so this isn't going to work
Okay.
because it's going to take an image of this whole thing.
So we have
So you
on the
need
right, You
this.
see the one on the right? Yeah, oh yeah, there's it.
You need this.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, that's perfect. It just needs to be a full image texture.
No, there's a change. Oh yeah, we've got it as the option.
Right. So just download that one quickly. That's not a problem. Just
And you tell me that the rendering when we go into render will almost look the same.
yeah, that's why we add the text to the board.
So the photorealism is as good as the image. Okay.
Camera Vision does photorealistic renderings.
Correct.
Right. So now that we got our texture, we can go here to the top on the ribbon bar to texture there.
Okay, so I'm gonna come right at the top. Okay.
This is our texture manager. This is where we will save all of our textures for our parts. So just check if there is a training folder there.
Yes.
So I'm going to go to that training folder. We don't have to create a new one. And because this works the same as your material library. It's just for textures. So then we can go there under training. On the top left corner, there's an import image function.
Okay.
I'm going to press there. Going to have this little window. There's going to be a little hard drive there on top.
Okay.
Select that. Then go and find your texture that you just downloaded. Yeah, just check your file type on the bottom right.
So basically, find your components is very important. So you
Always, I have a folder on my desktop that controls all my texture images and all those types of things. So I know always where it is. If something happens, I can bring it in again.
Mine is not coming up. Let me just save it again. Save image as JPEG.
Yes. Just make sure on the bottom right there's an option to say
Ian.
just change it to JPEG.
Okay, it's showing in the downloads folder, but when you go in here,
Double click on it.
it's not coming up.
Is it saying anything?
It's saying there's no items mattress search. It's showing that the download folder is empty.
Oh, because change it to JPEG. Sorry. We said for BMP stuff, right?
Okay. Makes sense.
All right. Got it.
Okay. Now
Can I give you something like this?
right.
Right.
Two's better than one. So under name, we can just call this training. Yeah, we copy the name from your website. Yeah, yeah, not a problem.
Okay.
All right. Now, this is very important. You see the tile and decals options here. You're almost never going to use the tile option. The decal and tile, what they do is it gives you your two different types of textures. So decal will take this texture and it will stretch it across the entire board. Tile, as soon as you press tile, it's going to ask you here to input the correct world size for that material. So if you buy that material in 500 by 500 blocks, you need to input it there. Because what it does then is it takes that 500 by 500 block and it tells it. And it just fills up the whole.
For us, because we are the family group as well, we do have clients who want to see this. So we can
Then you can have those options as well.
Only when you're doing shop putting and stuff, then you can change it accordingly to the designated purposes.
So I'd rather advise you to bring in two textures and two materials. Okay. One for decal, one for tiling.
Oh.
Yes.
So you keep doing the two designated ones.
Correct. Right. So for this one, I'm just going to say decal. And you'll see if I press decal, this doesn't even open. And I'm going to say, okay.
And under the stock, we get the stock there, so you will change the parameters. Go back and double click on here. Champagne metal. Where it says the world width and world height.
Yes.
What do you do in that case? You put the height of the material.
So if that tile material, you buy that sheet in a 600 by 500 piece, that's what you add there. the correct size for the material that you. So if you buy like tiles, if you buy your wall tiles as such, the width and height that you get that tile in, you add there. So this is mainly used for your wall materials and your roof materials and floor materials and such. I'll show you how that comes out when we do the job on day 2 training. Okay. I'm just going to say okay, and then we got our new texture now. All right. So I'm going to close this tab now. And then on my material that I brought in, I'm going to go to, you'll see there's a front, back, edge, and end. So I'm going to go to front first. I'm going to press on the 3 dots. I'm going to go to my folder on the left where I just brought in everything. So it's going to be the training folder. And you'll see your texture lays there. Double click on that. And you'll see it automatically assigns it to the front.
So 1 second. So okay, we closed the previous one. We hit the 3 dots.
Yes.
And now we have to go to training.
Now to the correct file.
Double click on training. No,
and then just double click on your texture.
Okay.
Then it assigns it there. Now we can do the same for the back as well. This is very important. If it's a single face material, then your front will get a texture and your back will say black. Because then cabin vision will actually recognize it as a single face material. And
do you specify the color of the single face? Or
you still do it with the same, you still bring in the texture, the whole shebang, you just don't add it to the back.
But for what I'm picking up from you, the more accurate you input the fields, the
more accurate your materials are going to be.
No, but the more accurate the raw materials going to be.
Correct.
Okay, so if you import in the back, you need that import files. Okay.
Yeah, if you
is it a bulk? Sorry, is it a bulk import file?
No, not to create new materials and such. For new stuff, you need to create it manually. But for stuff that other people already created, let's say like I'm going to give you the egg range this afternoon.
Okay.
I can just create a package of it. I have the whole range for PG. You guys should have it.
No. What happened was I don't think.
yeah, I can see it. Yeah, it's
not the old range. It's not the old range.
Now with PG Bison, there's Madeira, Super Texture, Super Gloss, Super Matte, Demand Range, Value Range, and Accent Range.
Yeah, but remember this is done in 2022, so I don't just double click on the Super Texture.
Does it look like this?
It's not as comprehensive because there's nothing in the file.
Okay.
yeah, wait, it does. No, this is
under 1 millimeter.
Let me check quickly.
This is what agent for that.
No, it's okay. Let me just check because if you guys don't have it, I'd rather give it to you guys again. Sheetgood. Just make this a bit wider.
We'll definitely get you lunch again.
Ah, please. No,
you can just make sure you import that. It makes our life easy.
No, it's there.
Remember, is it? But that's on the banding.
Did you buy some?
See, what I'm saying, you got.
Yeah, but I'm not in this quickly. So here's your.
The board.
Okay, no, this is old.
Yeah,
this is completely. What I can do is let me rather give you a full database backup of our data.
Yeah.
Then you have all of that.
Because it's the same thing we're using for Fiji, and there's nothing. Besides our range to relate to ourselves.
Yes.
But,
Now I'll give you a full clean new backup of ours. Before we I'll do that. I'll just create a backup.
Because the sooner we do that, it's not only you can get to that part where you're going to show our machines. Because we're just waiting for this to start creating, and then we're good to go.
Yeah. So with the training, we do it a little bit differently now. So what we decided to do, me and Chris, is after we're done now with day 1 training, I'm going to give you guys a little test. It's not a difficult thing. It's just it covers everything that we did today. Take a day or 2, complete that test. Once you completed the test, let me know. I'll log on over AnyDesk. I'll revise the test, check if there's any place you're struggling with. If you do, I'll run you through how to do it again. And then once that test has been completed in full and you guys understand everything in it, then we go over to day 2. Then we book day 2. We do the same for day 2. And then with day 3, you just get another test as well, complete it. And that way we know you guys understood everything that we covered. And it's not a difficult test. I set it up and I'm not the most intelligent person. So it's very simple, very straightforward.
Well, that's why we really invest into character difference.
And
We
now,
don't want our staff to stall.
yeah, no,
We need to run the peak performance that Zane can do it, I can do it, Keenan can do it. But that's the reason why we just bring us to the talks now. We got the whole OPIS.
No, but that's the nice thing. I'm going to give you guys these training videos as well. I'm going to give you guys all of the tools that you could possibly need in order to learn cabin vision to its fullest. All right. So back to the material that we created. We can go and add the texture now to the back as well of that material.
Right.
I think just go back to the material. I think we went out of the folder now.
No, we can still see it.
Right.
Training sheet, we under material.
Textures.
You can see the other textures and standing on the back, I think it was.
Yeah. So we can go and add that texture that we created now on the back as well. So if you press on the three dots, you won't have to go and look for the material on the left again for the texture. It's going to be under reset.
Yes.
Then we can just double click on that.
So I must have the one closing.
So basically what you're stating that the moment you brought that in the back, then you click on the three dots. That's if you're choosing double face or single face.
Yes.
The text is already assigned for it.
Yeah, no, it's already going to be there under resets. So you don't have to go and look for it again. You just double click on it there under resets. Edge, here you can do two things.
Yeah.
So you can either leave it blank, or you can add a thing that we created called particle board. The reason we don't make the edge the same color, the only times we will make that edge the same color is if it's a solid MDF woodstock. Otherwise, we use the particle board. The reason why we do this is if you add that particle board now on the edge, and you created a construction now, your unit is standing there, you go into texture mode, and you maybe forgot to assign edging onto your right panel. That particle board is going to blind you how it's shining. So then you know, okay, I need edging there. And you can go and just assign the edging as such. So it's just a little telltale to tell if there's edging not assigned to parts that needs the edging assigned, right? So there we can just double click on the particle board. Otherwise,
we've got marble floor, and
so what you can do is on the top left corner here, there's a search function.
Okay.
Just go and search there for particle, or just PART, just part. Then you should be able to find it.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't remember where I saved it. Right. And then on the end, I can just to give you a telltale on the edges if edge is.
It's almost like a quick review just to see if you're on the parameters. It's a nice one because then if you're changing colors for customers, you can change that as well. That's a good thing, just in case you're running that too.
So on the front and back, so we need the end to be the same color as the front and back. So we just can go there to the three dots and just double click on this texture that we brought in.
And in this case, where we selected our board and you want it to be edge, front, and back in the same color, can you choose it to be single space?
That we do with the construction method.
Okay.
So this is just the material.
Just the material.
Yeah. So once we created the material, we're going to assign it to a material schedule. And then the construction method controls what the material schedule does.
Sure.
So you'll be able to tell, in the material schedule, you have a front edging and exterior edging and an interior edging. So exterior will always be your colored board and interior will always be your carcass color edge. So in your construction method, on all of your parts there, it's going to ask you where you want to edge, and you want to edge with exterior or interior. And then you just decide. Make sure it's not Crystal's looking for me. I'll answer that in a little bit. Right.
So in this case, in training on that edging, we selected particle board and the end.
No, that's not edging, that's end. We're still going to create the edge banding material.
No, I'm saying here on the finish types, we will finish the front and the back. Now we went to edge. We selected particle board as the edge. And the end.
But no, the end we can make the same as what your front and back is.
Okay.
Now the edge isn't your edge.
Yeah,
it's the interior edge of the board. So finish types, that's just if you want to search and choose between glass, matte, mirror, or satin, or whatever. So that all depends on the material that you brought in. So if the material is a matte wood color, you can assign the finish type to matte. If it's a high gloss color, you can change the finish type to gloss.
Can you add this, or is it?
This is, you can add new ones here. You go there to finish types here on top.
Okay.
Then you can add and create new finish types. We don't normally do this because the majority of them are matte, gloss, or satin. But if you do need to, you can do it here as
For
well.
example, the color we chose now.
That's
the same.
metal range.
So maybe there is one that says chrome. Maybe we just-
So with metal range, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah, you
system
can-
satin
Just double
works
check.
beautifully.
Second.
System satin. It's not that bright and shiny finish, but it gives you enough shine that it looks like metal.
Okay, so system.
Satin.
And what I'm saying is we were to assign it for our names, we can do that.
Yeah, you can just go and change it there under
So in
finish
that
types.
case, we can assign it according to.
You can go and you'll have a little preview view on the right. So while you're busy, oh, there's a gloss metal.
Yeah.
It's just not created. Just
That's for
rename it.
rendering purposes, of course. That's what
Yes.
I'm asking you. Yeah.
Then you can just rename it, the description, ID you won't be able to change, and you can just modify this
For the contrasting color, the sharpness and so on.
just to make it look proper
But you only sort of see that once you've actually gone
That's-
into the design.
for the renders.
Okay. When you get to the photo. Well, it also depends on your PC how it's rendering itself.
So then finishes now. This is where we go and assign a color to the board now. So on our texture, we know now what the texture color is. Yours is a light gray for the metal. So under finishes, you can now go here to the three dots and go and look for a color that closely matches the texture color. But you can also just go and say search and then search for a color that you think is closely related. So mine, I'm going to search for oak. I'm going to take oak natural. Now, then you see it gives you a list of colors. As soon as you select a color that looks closely related and you say OK,
So when you say automatic, will it not? I think will not know.
it doesn't always assign the correct one.
Okay.
So just to show you quickly, if you go here, search, you search there for you what you want. I'm just going to search for oak again. It's going to highlight the one that you search for. As soon as you say that and you say OK, it's going to bring you to the sheet here with that color assigned and everything that's closely related to it. Then you can just select the color from there. It doesn't need to be an exact match, but the closer, the better. So I'm just going to go with that one. You have one that you think will work. Just hover over it, then you'll see it highlights you the name.
Okay, but I'm going back into it.
Yeah, don't click on it. So on this page here, don't click on it, just hover over it.
Yeah, I clicked on mine.
Yeah, just move your mouse around a bit and just go back and hover.
So what I mean is, I've selected it. I've selected it here. So if I go back,
Okay, so you see that you got natural Bordolini.
yeah,
The only reason why I say hover over it, so go out there, go onto that one again, just press there on the color, yeah. Hover over it, don't click on it. Then it gives you the name. Then you know what to go and search for on the next one. So then I'm going to go to back. I'm going to go and search for my oak or for your natural Bordolini. I'm just going to assign it to the back as well.
okay.
Right. Edge, this we can leave as blank. We can just deselect automatic or just leave it on automatic because that's just always going to be particle board. So if you leave that on automatic, the particle board will just make it white.
So you set that as a default already.
That's default. Yes, it'll always come through as white on your finished colors. What a lot of people actually do is they go and assign a ridiculous color, pink or green or yellow or something. So even in your finished, if you have it in finished view, it'll automatically show you where's an exposed edge.
That's a good one for designers because they do get busy and
Then they don't always check that everything. If your construction method is set up correctly, your edging will always be correct. But the problem is you can modify your edging and such manually in the job as well. So they might have done something that removed the edging and then that'll show bright green and you'll know, okay, I'm missing edging there. Right. You can do that if you want to. I'm just going to leave mine as automatic for now. And then end, I'm going to make the same as my board colors as well. So I'm just going to search for my oak again. Natural. Okay. So I changed this one incorrectly.
Yeah.
And there you have it. That's a material created. It's not difficult. It's a few steps. But the nice thing about this is you don't always have to create a brand new one from the get-go now. So let's say, for instance, now with this one, we need a 19 mil variant as well, because I saw your metal sheet is 19 mils. This one is already set up correctly. The name is correct, the type is correct, the sizes are correct, well, almost. The finishes are correct, finish types and textures are all correct. I don't need to go and create a brand new one now. I can just press on the ID of this material. No, no problem. I'm also just going to step outside quickly. I need to check what Chris can hear. I'm running around like a little these days.
I think we are going to connect to this. Okay, did we skip a whole?
No, we're still a bit away from the connectors. So under the training materials, now sheet goods train. So we created the 16 millimeter sheet now.
Yeah.
Now, if we want to create a 19 millimeter sheet of the exact same material,
Yeah.
we don't have to go and do everything again from scratch. Because we have the basic foundation of that material already set up,
Yeah.
I can select the ID here, right click on it, and say copy.
Nice.
Then create a copy underneath, an exact copy. I can just rename it to 19 millimeter sheet.
And you tell me we'll do the same thing for all the cabinets.
No.
Why did you make it that easy?
So if I copied in something, can I
Undo it.
Oh, undo function with these not in the materials, but in the job, yes.
You can do that for design.
What code?
Control Z.
Oh yeah, no, there is a undo.
Because they made it easy for the designers because they're not very.
Now, and the nice thing about it is you can go into your preferences as well and designate shortcut keys.
So if I want to delete one, how do I do it?
Select the ID, right click, delete. But this one we need to keep because we're going to use that one specifically for the doors that we create. And yeah, so all just create the name 19 millimeter sheet, change the description to 19 millimeter sheet,
How do I do it?
Oh, you do? Okay.
and
But
then
you got to change. You must change on the name. The name is important. So,
yeah, you need to change the name.
the description is because otherwise you're sending the wrong field.
And
So we have to change board size.
and then we just go to
Board
size,
thickness.
Yeah.
and we just change the thickness from 16 to 19.
The sheet size can also change.
You can modify that as well if you need to. If the 19 mil is on a smaller or a bigger sheet or such, you can modify it as well. Yes.
But basically, the more accurate your parameters are, the more accurate your costing becomes. Right?
So it's
But
all
ultimately, what you want to do is to optimize that. So your stacking, your formatting is okay.
so this always does need to be as close to perfect as possible.
And have you found in your years of expertise, have you found designers to input the wrong material every now and then?
Sometimes yes, but normally what we do is, especially in big companies, we put one
Design
person,
just okay.
and he's the one that brings in all the new materials and assign the prices and all that. And then
is the one person coming.
yes, and the designers just drag what they need into their jobs. They don't modify the materials or create it. If they need to modify something, they do it in the job specifically, because that way it doesn't
So you
modify.
don't try to show this to you to the designers as such.
Normally with the designers, they don't really
They
need to
don't
be
need to
here
do
for this. They're the ones that we do this designing with is the factory floor managers, the one who's going to be handling the upkeep of cabinet vision, and then the people who's going to be working with the materials and construction and all those types of things.
Okay.
Right. So the designers, they can modify this in the job. And when they modify it in the job, it creates a copy of this for that job specifically. So it doesn't even modify the original material or anything. All right. So that's your two sheet goods. It's fairly simple. It's a few steps, but the more you do this, the easier it will get.
Muscle memory.
Muscle memory. So now we need to create edge banding material as well. Edge banding material works exactly the same as your Sheetgood material. It's actually a lot easier. So what we're going to do is you can minimize the Sheetgoods now on the left. To edging, to the training folder that we created. Now, because there's nothing here, we just need to go and say new on the top left.
Okay, so we are now the top and edging. Yeah, okay. Now we go to edge and change again and training. Correct.
And then here, first option, banding. Under type.
Sorry, what the
No, you must go back to new, yeah.
so we go back to new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because remember you just stand under edging.
Okay.
But remember we Panelstock, okay? So close that. Because we finished with Panelstock now.
Now just go to your training folder, your edging folder, and then folder training.
Okay, double click on training edge. Oh, it is.
Okay.
Right. Then once you're in the training folder underneath edging, you can go and say new. Right. Under type, we can make it banding. And then the name we can just call training banding or however. Make it 1 millimeter.
We just turn it into the name that we've created. So
Yeah, not a problem. Right. Once that's done, we can go ahead and say next.
Can we specify the type of edging it is? So if it's an ABS or
Yeah, the name you can make whatever you want.
the thing is that sometimes when we are working for costings, we've got different edging points according to the different projects.
All right.
And then that's what Zimmer's asking for the PVC or ABS. So I think the more specific we are on the parameters, because you can edit the component,
Yes.
it allows you to cost it almost instantaneously.
So that's why it's important to set it up correctly
Nice.
from the get-go. Because if you set it up correctly here and you assign it to your material schedule,
you can make these changes.
it's, if it's correct here, it'll always be correct in your schedule.
We always have those clients who say, you can use this, so if you would change to this, what price difference? So we have that all the time.
That's
And
incredibly easy.
Yeah.
That's incredibly easy to do.
Nice.
That's why you can create the same material, but one for PVC, one for ABS, and one for this and one for that. Just create different materials. Right. So the next option, we have unit of issue. Now, normally that's per meter. And then thickness, you can just make 1. Sorry, can I have a glass of water?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I don't think bring the bottle.
Hey?
I thought you were bring the bottle.
Now, I have a 2-liter bottle that I normally take with, but I forgot it at home. No, I really do. I actually drink.
So close to that ball.
Yeah, no, the rain we've been getting the last while, whole Heidelberg is constantly underwater.
Who is that there?
Mm-hmm. No, both of our 2 low water bridges are constantly flooded.
Yeah, but to where you guys are, because I think from Heidelberg to
Walden, it's about 30 k's.
What's it called? Where you put the spells?
Which direction?
What's KZN?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's. Hmm. Yeah, I wish. We just washed more gunk in. Right, so to make that thickness 1, we can say next.
Okay.
Now, once again, the finished color here, we're going to be doing last after we assigned the texture. So I'm going to say there and just finish. Once again, you're only going to see 2 tabs at the top, the little bug. Select any other folder on the left, and then just go back to your folder. Then all of your tabs will be there. So once again, your name you can modify here. Your description you can change here. Your type you cannot change. That's locked. Now you want to ask it?
The type you can't change anything, eh? Because yes, that assigns the banding. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Unit of issue we can modify. Default cost, sale price, default markup,
Unit of issue you can change to what?
per
Cubic
meter.
feet, okay, cubic meters. So in this case, it's per meter. Yeah.
Yeah, we normally just work on per
Well,
meter.
expanding. Yeah. Default vendor, default costs.
Sale price and default markup that you can assign as you need to. And
So if
then,
we're charging 22 rand per meter, where do most people normally put that?
so
Okay,
your
on the
cost for the edgebanding, if you buy it per, let's say
25 to 10 rand a meter.
10 rand a meter, then you take on the 10 rand a meter, then you add it there, default cost to 10 rand, and then your sale price you say 22.
You can do it in in a marginal. Okay, you can do it in that way. Sell price 20%, 30%, 40%, whatever
Correct.
the case is.
Or if you don't want to work with sale price, then you can just make the sale price 0, and to get to 22 rand per meter, you can make the default markup 120. Then it'll add 12 rand onto the
Oh, you divide. Okay, so you went to sell price at 100. How did you do it? You went to default cost.
Yeah. So default cost is 10 rand.
Yeah.
Sell price I made 0,
Yeah.
and then default markup I made 120%.
120%.
Then it's going to cost them 22 rand a meter.
Oh, you did that way. Okay.
Or you could just remove the default markup, make that 0, and make the sell price just solid 22. Right. Sales tax we can tick on.
Sales tax. Okay, where are we showing the VAT? We just reading that there's a test in the cost there. Okay, right. And the default tax rate is changed accordingly. We didn't get to 0.5, so we can stick to 15.
Luckily.
Yeah.
And then wastage again, you can add a percentage for wastage on as well.
Is that what they normally for engineers?
So wastage, that all depends on you.
What is our wastage on agents?
It's like
1%.
we haven't worked it out to percent.
But there's a number. We use a percentage, for example.
It's about 14 millimeters.
Oh, so it's 0.04.
Yeah, you can add that if you want to.
Just make it 5%.
0.05. Estimate load model, yeah.
So estimate is so that if your estimate is here not on, it will not pull through to your bit center.
So it must be.
Estimate must always be switched on. Load model, don't stress about that. That's just to load the model into your designs. S2M material, this does not go through to screen to machine center. So that
If you want to do the edging report,
the edging report gets done before screen to machine center.
so we never need to have the screen to machine function on.
For edge banding, no.
If it's enabled, what happens?
Then it will pull through to your edge banding and it'll, to your screen to machine, and it might what's the word?
Oh, so the relay it will always ask you to relay the information because it's sending to machine.
But all of your edge band, you can actually switch it on. So switch it on. I'll show you what happens.
So that's the only one on edge banding machine. But you do that when you get to automation process.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can switch that on for now, and then I'll show you what happens. Then the next
I
tab,
think let's make it uncomplicated. Let's keep it simple. Disable it now.
I'm going to keep mine on, and I can show you the difference.
Are we putting in? Okay.
Yeah, we just put it at 10 rand and default markup 120%.
So you can do it whichever way. If you bought it at 10 rand a meter and you're selling it at 22, then you can take that and divide it with 120%. Yeah.
Or you can go 10.
And just make the solid sell price 20%.
Okay.
All basic business calculation.
And then the next tab that we're going to go to is banding. So on banding, you have a length trim and thickness. So the length trim is that little extra that it leaves at the end. So there you can add how much ever you always leave at the end. So if it's 5 mil, 6 mil, 7 mil, or whatever. I'm just going to make it 5 mil for now.
Isn't it more?
So that's the part the instrument takes out.
Yeah. So if it runs through the edge banding, it always cuts that little edge extra.
It's about 20 minutes.
Yeah, because it's 20 more. On 100 pieces, it's quite a bit.
It's quite a bit. Yes.
So does it just have the cumulative amount of both ends, or is it one end?
No, it'll take it
On one end.
On one
So
end.
if you say the length trim 5, it's going to add 5 on one end, 5 on the other.
So it'll give you 10.
10. Then
No,
20.
10.
So finishes, front and your finishes and finish types, you'll see there's only one option because edgebanding is just one face, but that will add after we did the texture. So now the nice thing is we already added the texture for the Sheetgood. We don't have to go and create it again. We can just go to the front, press on the three dots, and just open that texture that we brought in. Assign it. Then we can go to finishes and change the finished color to whatever it was. So mine was oak. And just add it there. Natural border leader. And then finish types, you can just select your finish type that you need according to the material.
We said we're using system.
Seven.
Yeah.
Right, and then that's your edgebanding. But that's your edgebanding done. Edgebanding works pretty much exactly the same as your Panelstock. It's just a lot easier, and there's one or two little key differences.
So
And
much not too difficult.
it's honestly not. And the nice thing now as well is if I need a 2mm banding of this material for my doors, I can just select ID, right click, copy, change the name to 2mm. Just also create this because we're going to use this on the doors. 2mm.
Create 2mm.
And just copy that one.
ID. Yeah. So now we're changing. Yeah.
Just name it training banding 2mm. And then under the banding tab, we can change the thickness to 2.
Do I do it in the description as well?
Yeah, you can do a description as well, just to make it non-confusing.
Banding. Okay, so here we change to 2.
And that's your materials done. It's very simple, it's straightforward. And the nice thing about you guys are going to bring in all of your materials now from your, so you're going to get lack of practice with it. But
just
take it in.
Device and range. Oh, you're going to give us that?
Yeah, I'm going to give you a full backup of our system database now.
Okay, brilliant.
With all the new stuff that's brought in and such. And the nice thing now as well is even if your next material that you're going to bring in is not the same texture and material and all those types of things, right click copy and just change what you need to. Your measurement is still going to be the same. On most cases, your cost is still going to be the same if it's the same range. Your wastage is the same. All of those things are the same. So make a copy of it and just change what you need to. You don't have to create a new material every single time. Copy and paste. It's the layman's way.
Yeah.
All right. So that's your material done. So the next thing that we're going to be doing with this is we're going to be creating a material schedule for our units and for our doors. Okay. Incredibly simple, straightforward, and we're going to come back to this a little bit later as well if we have time, because I want to run you guys just a little bit through with the hinges and the runners as well, and we're going to be back here as well for the connectors, but we'll handle that once we get to that stage.
Okay.
So I'm going to close this for now, and I'm going to